Welcome to Israelites Doctrine for Dummies, where we break down the truth of the Bible so simple, even a child can understand it. Your charity helps generate the lessons needed to seal the chosen before the destruction. For Dummies, you're fishing wrong, and that's why you're confused. Let this be correction to the disciples who claim to follow Christ, but are not moving according to the instructions given. You were not sent to walk the earth judging by appearance. You were not told to identify the scattered tribes by what you see with your eyes, skin tone, features, or outward look. That is leaning on your own understanding, and because of that, many of you are already in error. The Messiah gave clear direction. Go not into the way of the Gentiles at that time, but that was instruction according to order, not permission for you to create your own system of judgment. You were given tools, but instead of using them, you replace them with your own logic. You are trying to force identity instead of teaching truth. The message of the disciple is simple. Preach, teach, and let the Most High give the increase. You are not the one who wakes people up. You are not the one who decides who belongs. You are not the one who forces fruit to grow. Yahweh is the one who awakens his chosen from among the scattered. That means, when you speak the gospel, you speak it broadly. You teach the word whether the person appears African, Asian, Arab, or even what you think is your enemy. Your job is not to filter by appearance. Your job is to deliver truth. You were told how to operate. Teach them. Water them. Watch. If they begin to grow, you will see it. If they hold on to the doctrine, you will see it. If they refuse to leave the word, you will see it. That is how fruit is identified, not by how someone looks, but by what they produce. But many of you have reversed the process. You judge first. You assume first. You decide first. And then try to teach. That is out of order. You have put new wine into old bottles. You took the doctrine and mixed it with your own thinking, your own bias, your own assumptions, and now it is corrupted. That is why confusion is increasing among you. That is why arguments are rising. That is why division is growing. Because you are not following instruction. You were not told to gather. You were told to teach. You were not told to bring everyone into your house immediately. You were not told to force people into your circle. You were not told to claim people before they prove themselves. You were told to teach, water, observe, and let Yahweh reveal who is his. Because many can hear the word, but not all will endure. Many can receive for a moment, but not all will produce fruit. And yes, many will creep in unaware. That is why discernment is required, not based on appearance, but based on fruit. Do not judge by outward appearance. You are still thinking carnally. You are still looking outward. You are still trying to identify by sight instead of spirit. And that is the mistake. Because the prophecy already said, a multitude from different tongues will be gathered. Different languages, different lands, different conditions. So why are you surprised when the scattered don't look the same? Final rebuke. You are fishing wrong. You are judging too early, assuming too quickly, leaning on your own understanding, forcing identity instead of teaching truth. And because of that, you are out of order. Final word. You were sent to teach and let me reveal, but you tried to decide first, and now you're confused. So correct yourself. Teach the word. Watch for fruit. Stay patient, and let Yahweh do what only he can do. Wake up his chosen. For Dummies, how to properly fish for the lost tribes. Matthew 4:19. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Being a fisherman is not about guessing, forcing, or judging. It is about method, patience, and obedience to instruction. Christ did not say, quote, "Go identify men by sight." He said he would make you fishers, meaning you must be trained to do it his way, not your own way. A fisherman casts broadly, not selectively by appearance. He does not decide which fish belong before they are caught. He casts the net and then separates afterward. Matthew 10:5-6. Go not into the way of the Gentiles, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This instruction shows direction, not appearance-based judgment. The disciples were sent with purpose, but they were not told to identify Israel by outward looks. They were told where to go and what message to preach. The focus was always the message, not visual identification. The lost sheep are lost because they don't know who they are. So how can you identify them? By sight alone. John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. This corrects many of you directly. You are trying to fish using your eyes instead of the Spirit. You are judging based on outward appearance, skin, features, assumptions, and that is exactly what you were told not to do. Righteous judgment comes after fruit is revealed, not before teaching begins. 1 Corinthians 3:6-7. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. Neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God that giveth the increase. This is the core principle you are missing. Your job is to plant, teach, water, reinforce, but you are not. The one who gives growth, the one who awakens the one who chooses Yahweh, does that. So when you try to force identity or decide too early, you step out of your role. Matthew 13:24-30, Parable of Wheat and Tares. Let both grow together until the harvest. This explains why you cannot rush judgment. When the word is taught, both true and false will respond. Some will appear sincere at first. Some will look like they belong. But time reveals truth. If you try to separate too early, you risk misjudging. So, the instruction is clear. Let them grow. Watch the fruit. Separate later, not immediately. Revelation 7:9. A great multitude of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues. This confirms that the scattered are not all going to look the same, speak the same, or come from the same background. The gathering includes people from many lands and languages. So if you are expecting one look, one culture, or one appearance, you will miss who Yahweh is calling. Step by step, simplified truth. The correct way to fish is this. You teach the word without bias. You water the word without forcing. You watch for fruit without rushing. You use discernment based on behavior, not looks. If they stay, grow, apply, endure, that is a sign. If they fall away, resist correction, reject doctrine, that is also a sign. Where many of you go wrong, you judge before teaching, assume before observing, decide before fruit appears. That is not fishing. That is guessing. Final word. A true fisherman casts the word and waits for fruit. A false one judges the fish before they're even caught. So correct your method. Teach first, watch second, discern later, and let Yahweh do what you cannot. Call his people out of the scattered. For dummies, signs, someone is bearing fruit versus just listening. Matthew 7:16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. This is the foundation. Christ did not say you will know them by what they claim, how they look, or how much they talk. He said you will know them by their fruit, meaning their actions, consistency, and transformation over time. Fruit is not instant. Fruit grows, develops, and proves itself. So if you are trying to judge someone too early, you are already out of order. James 1:22. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. This separates the two clearly. A hearer listens, agrees, and understands, but does nothing. A doer applies, changes, and lives it out. Many people in this truth are hearers. They watch lessons, repeat breakdowns, and talk doctrine, but their life does not change. That is self-deception. They think they are growing, but they are not producing. Luke 8:15. That on the good ground are they, which, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. This shows the process. First they hear, then they keep it. Then over time, with patience, they produce fruit. Notice, it is not quick, it is not emotional, it is not temporary, it is steady and consistent. This is how you identify someone real. They don't just react to the word, they hold on to it and live it out over time. Galatians 5:22-23. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance. Fruit is not just knowledge, it is character. A person bearing fruit becomes more disciplined, more patient, more controlled, more grounded, not louder, not more prideful, not more argumentative. If someone is increasing in pride, anger, confusion, and ego, that is not fruit. Hebrews 5:12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again. This exposes another problem. Some people stay in the same place for too long. They keep listening, but never grow. They should be developing, maturing, and becoming stable, but instead, they remain dependent, inconsistent, and unbuilt. That is a sign they are not bearing fruit. Real difference, plain. A person just listening, watches constantly, agrees, verbally gets excited, quickly falls off just as fast, avoids responsibility, resists correction. A person bearing fruit applies what they learn, changes their behavior, stays consistent, accepts correction, grows over time, develops discipline. Real life. Example. Two men hear the same truth. One watches every lesson, quotes scriptures, debates others, but his life stays the same. No discipline, no change, no consistency. After time, he disappears or falls off. The other hears, applies slowly, corrects his behavior, becomes more disciplined, more stable, more serious. He may not talk as much, but he is growing. One is listening, one is bearing fruit. Final warning. Not everyone who listens is growing. Not everyone who speaks is built. Not everyone who stays is producing. Time reveals everything. Final word. Hearing the word makes you informed. Doing the word proves you're transformed. So stop judging by excitement knowledge talk and start looking for consistency, discipline, obedience, endurance. Because fruit is not what someone says, it's what they become. For dummies. Discernment in captivity, why every man must be tried. First, understand clearly. Dylan Roof was a man who carried out a racially motivated attack in 2015, targeting black worshipers in a church. His actions were rooted in hatred, deception, and extremist thinking. This is not something to ignore. It is a real example of how danger can appear in places people think are safe. But the deeper lesson is not fear of one man. It is understanding why discernment is required at all times, especially in captivity. You are living in a world where deception operates quietly. You are not in a protected kingdom. You are in a system filled with confusion, mixed intentions, and hidden agendas. That means you cannot move blindly. You cannot trust quickly. You cannot assume everyone who comes near you is safe or genuine. That is not wisdom. That is how people get hurt. The scriptures already warned you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary walketh about. That means danger is not always obvious. It moves, it watches, it waits. So the instruction is simple but serious. Every man must be tried, not judged by appearance, not rejected instantly, but tested over time, because deception does not come looking evil. It comes looking normal, respectful, calm, agreeable. That is why many miss it. Another warning says, false brethren came in unawares. That means people can enter spaces, speak correctly, and still not be genuine. They can sit among you, learn your ways, and yet have a different spirit. That is why you cannot rely on appearance, words, first impressions. You must rely on time, plus fruit, plus consistency. In captivity, this matters even more, because you are not in a system built on righteousness. You are surrounded by influence, manipulation, hidden motives. So if you move without discernment, you expose yourself. What discernment looks like? Reality. You don't rush to trust. You don't rush to bring people close. You don't give access too early. Instead, you observe, listen, watch behavior, test consistency. If a man stays grounded, accepts correction, remains consistent, produces fruit, that is a sign. If a man shifts over time, resists accountability, creates confusion, changes under pressure, that is also a sign. Final rebuke. Some of you are too open. Some of you are too trusting. Some of you think being welcoming means dropping your guard. That is not wisdom, because in a world full of deception, unguarded people are easy targets. Final word. Discernment is not hatred, it is protection. And in captivity, if you don't test every man, you risk letting danger sit right next to you. So slow down, test people, watch over time, because not everyone who approaches is meant to be trusted. If you want next, I can build how to test a man step by step, scripture plus real scenarios. Or harsher, you trusted too fast and paid for it. Shalom to the students of the Lost Tribes. Please support this work on Patreon and request a personal commissioned video lesson. A lesson can be produced for you on the topic you want, with scriptural breakdown and understanding. By supporting this work, you help build and strengthen the ministry. Your support helps with the time, study, editing, and materials needed to produce these teachings. Support the ministry. Request your lesson. Grow in knowledge. Patreon. Patreon.com/C/School of the Lost Tribes. Student, you have no excuse not to study. The Most High has called you, so do not ignore His call. If you do, you may lose the opportunity for salvation from captivity. Email me at schooloftheLostTribes@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions and send you a lesson on the subject. Shalom. Those who follow the covenant of charity and support the teacher of Yahweh are encouraged to give freely. Please donate. My duty is to compel the descendants of the lost tribes to study and to endure unto the end. You must study, because if you do not study, you will not know Yahweh. Study and worship are the keys to the knowledge of Yahweh, by which the servants of God are sealed in their foreheads before destruction comes. Without that knowledge, you will lose salvation. Sign up by email at schooloftheLostTribes@gmail.com. WhatsApp classes are available. Dear student, I write to you in sincerity and with concern for your walk. If you do not have a true teacher to serve under, you will not gain the full mystery of the kingdom of heaven. A man cannot come into deep understanding by his own pride, nor by tasting from many tables. The true knowledge of Yahweh is learned through order, humility, service, consistency, and charity toward the truth. If you eat from the table of Yahweh, that means you must learn from the teacher He has set over you. But if you are not consistent in charity toward that knowledge, then it shows that you never truly invested in Yah. Instead, you invested in worldly knowledge, worldly approval, and worldly gain. Because of that, the true knowledge of Christ can be removed from you, and you can fall back into spiritual sleep and be cast out. If you are ashamed to promote this truth, or ashamed to be known as an Israelite, then you are not fit to carry this message. What is hidden in your heart will be exposed. The truth is not for the ashamed, nor for those who want the world's acceptance more than Yahweh's approval. If you are afraid of death, afraid of suffering, or afraid of losing your life for the truth, then you are not yet standing in the courage Christ requires. Christ does not call men to cowardice, but to faithfulness. The fearful draw back, but the true disciple stands firm. To shrink back from the truth is to place yourself against the will of God. Therefore, wake up, be steadfast, be faithful, invest in Yahweh, not in this world. Hold fast to the knowledge given to you, walk in charity, remain under true teaching, and do not let the mystery of the kingdom slip from your hands. Only those who endure, who are loyal, and who are not ashamed will remain. You no longer have an excuse. If you're not planning to teach your family and your people, don't buy this book. This is not a book of personal opinion. It is a precision tool, crafted from the words of Yahweh, for one nation only, the scattered tribes of the children of Jacob. For generations, the truth of who we are has been buried beneath the weight of deception. False doctrines have sold a universal message that never belonged to the other nations, stripping the covenants of their rightful heirs and misleading the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This book is not the message. It is the delivery system. Like a box of sharpened blades, every page is designed to cut through the lies that have enslaved our people in spiritual bondage. This is for those who have ears to hear and whose bloodline traces back to the patriarchs. The scribe is not the author. Yahweh is. These are his words, preserved and compiled for his chosen. Go to Amazon, get it, use it, teach your household, teach your people. The blades are ready. The knife you need, crafted for your endurance and trials from the Most High, is almost here. This tool is forged to cut through the deceptions that have smothered the truth for generations, preparing you for sealing before the destruction. Title: The Curse of the Lost Tribes, for the Deaf, Dumb, and Blind Israelites, by Scribe of the Most High. Not a commentary, not a sermon. This is a scriptural toolbox, crafted for the lost sheep of Israel, those judged, scattered, and blinded by false doctrines. Christianity taught you lies. This book gives you the blades of truth to tear them down. Compiled by a scribe, authored by Yahweh, the God of Israel. Built for one people only, the descendants of Jacob. Use this tool, wake up, return, your time is near.